Hello everyone, in this video we'll discuss an elegy written written by Alfred Lord Tennyson. Alfred Lord Tennyson is a leading Victorian poet, The Victorian age is between 1837 and 1901. This is a period during which Queen Victoria ruled the English throne. Lord Alfred Tennyson also remained poet laureate of his country. Poet laureate of England between 1850 till his death in 1892. This poem, Break, 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 belongs to a genre called elegy. Elegy is a lyric poem. There are three kinds of poem: lyric poem, narrative poem, and dramatic poem. Lyric poetry, narrative poetry, and dramatic poetry. So elegy is a poem that is written after the mourning of something. In the morning means sok manate hue, in the morning of some on the death of some value or some people. So this poem, Break, 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 is an elegy that Alfred Lord Tennyson wrote on the death of his best friend and college mate, author Henry Hallam. Author Henry Hallam was also engaged with Lord Alfred Tennyson's sister. Author Henry Hallam died in 1833, and after 2 years of his death, he wrote this poem, Break, Break, Break. He wrote this poem in 1835, and it was published in 1842. So this poem is an elegy written after the death of Arthur Henry Hallam, who was his best friend, college mate, and he was also engaged to his sister. This poem was written in 1835 after 2 years of his death and was published in 1842. The setting of this poem, now let's come to the setting of this poem. Setting of this poem is a seashore of Mablethorpe, Lincolnshire. एक सीसोर है, किस जगह का? Mablethorpe का, जगह का नाम है Mablethorpe, THORPE, Mablethorpe, Lincolnshire, LINCOLNSHIRE, Lincolnshire. So Lord Alfred Tennyson is melancholic, he's unhappy, and he's nostalgic about in the memory of his friend Arthur Henry Hallam, and he's standing in the seashore of Mablethorpe, Lincolnshire, and he is seeing the happy surrounding, and he contrasts that happy surrounding of the seaside with the melancholic unhappiness of his inside. The theme of this poem, as it is an elegy, so the theme is melancholy and nostalgia. Melancholy, dukh, and nostalgia, the memory of past. Now let's start the poem. The poem is written in 4 stanzas of 4 lines each. So 4 lines are called quatrain. So poem consists 4 quatrains. It starts with the line break, 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 stop, 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 or collide, collide, collide. The poet is addressing the sea. So when a poem starts with a direct address, or any statement start with the direct address, we call it apostrophe. apostrophe. So it starts with an apostrophe. So when he is calling the sea, so it is an apostrophe. And here he says break, break, break. So when there are the repetition of the same word without any intervening words, so we call it epizeuxis. So this break, break, break is an example of epi, zeuxis, zeuxis, epizeuxis. So what is epizeuxis? Let me write it for you. Word or the phrases. Word or phrases repeated in succession without intervening words. Intervening words. So it's a figure of speech called epizeuxis. So break, break, break is an example of epizeuxis. Like in Hamlet, when Hamlet reads the letter and says words, words, words. So it is an example of epizeuxis. So the poem starts and the poet says, break, break, break on thy cold grey stone. So in the sea side, जब समुद्र का किनारा होता है तो उसमें पत्थर होते हैं, और वो समुद्र को क्या बोल रहा है, सी को क्या बोल रहा है कि उस पत्थरों पर रुको. So he says break, 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 रुको, 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 या collide, collide, collide. ठीक है, again let me write it for you. It is an example of epizeuxis, and OC is the example of apostrophe. Ruko, ruko, ruko on thy grey, whom he is telling, who is the speaker? Alfred Lord Tennyson. What he is addressing to? The sea. And what he is asking? He is demanding the sea to stop on the grey stones. And why he is willing to having such demands? So that that my tongue could utter, that he could speak the thoughts that arise in me, the thoughts that is arising within himself. He wants to speak that thoughts. Now in the next two stanza, there is a technique called juxtaposition. Juxtaposition. So juxtaposition occurs when the author places two things side by side in a way of highlighting their difference. Juxtaposition is placing two things side by side in a way to highlight their differences. So this is juxtaposition. In next to stanza, Lord Alfred Tennyson does the juxtaposition. He places the outer happy atmosphere to the melancholic atmosphere of his inside. So poet says, well for the fisherman boys. यहाँ पे किसका लड़का है? Fisherman boy. The fisherman boy is well, that he shouts with his sister at play. He is looking at the happy condition of a fisherman boy, and this fisherman boy is shouting. He is playing with his sister and shouting and enjoying. Oh well for the sailor's lad. Lad means ladka, boy, sailor's boy. That he sings in his boat on the bay. That is on the bay. समुद्र के किनारे है और क्या कर रहा है? He is singing. So here there are happy people, fisherman boy who is playing with his sister, sailor's lad who is singing, and the stately, bhavya ships go on to their heaven. Heaven means bandargah, harbor. Heaven is H here, Haven is heaven. It's not Heaven. It means harbor. And the stately ships are going to the harbor under the hill. But so here are the happy things that a stately ship is going. Fisherman boy is happy, playing with his sister. Sailors lad are singing on the boat. But for the touch of a Venice hand. But what the poet is remembering, what Lord Alfred Tennyson is missing, a touch of the Venice hand. So whose hand is Venice? Venice means gayap ho jana, is now no more. Arthur Henry Hallam, whose hand is no more, and he is missing the touch of his friend's hand and the sound of a voice that is still, and the sound of his voice that is still in his mind, but there is no more. And then again poet says to the sea, break, 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 ruko at the foot of thy cracks. Cracks again is the stones that are by the seaside. Cracks, O sea, but the tender grace of the day is dead. But he says that as the grace of the day is gone, it may be the poet is standing by the seaside from morning till evening, and the day is past, and he has remained in the same melancholic condition, seeing the happy surrounding outside. And he says that as the day is dead and now never come back to me, और जैसे दिन जो है वो जा चुका है और कभी भी वापस उनके पास नहीं आएगा, same as his friend Arthur Henry Hallam is now no more and is not going to return to him. So this is one of the most anthologized example of elegy written by Lord Alfred Tennyson in the memory of his dead friend Arthur Henry Hallam. Thank you.